Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sequel here and welcome back to another video. You might be able to see a little bit of a background change, and that's because I finally moved alone out of my parents' house. So I've been telling you, I didn't specifically do a video on that, but I've been telling you in videos for the last half a year that I'm going to eventually move. And the main reason why I was not streaming was because of literally no free time, because I've been working with my dad to get this place fixed up, because we basically got it for real cheap, but it was a dumpster fire, so we had to basically take everything from scratch. And it's not fully finished yet, so don't expect streams for a bit more, because I still need to get stuff changed around and arrange a few things around here, but I'll be soon done. I'm at this point working from here and sleeping here, so it's, let's say, 95% done. But yeah, more on that when I actually finish arranging the place, and maybe I'll do a video, a mansion tour on the second channel. But for this video, we're going to kill Boss Joker and Dark Supergirl and Boss Darkseid. So Boss Joker is going to be a quite annoying one to deal with, and we're using Nora Snowglobe Deathstroke, and as you can see, we're kind of able to do well enough with it. You need to be very careful with the clones and get a bit lucky, and we got lucky enough overall. I'm using sort of Salvation on Kimflan Sacrament to power generate a bit, yeah. With the Deathstroke clones, you basically need to not get hit, because you're gonna have to basically sit on the dot hazard, because if you sit on the power drain hazard, then no special 2, so you're gonna be sitting on 1 health. Next up, we're going to have a little bit of a Grodd fight here. We're going to use Beta Club on Grodd, and we're going to use Brainiac to stack some lethal attack damage. This team, while it is insanely powerful in our soul rates, and this one is still good, but not absolutely insane. Also, you are going to notice an interesting thing throughout this fight. By the way, I do have Entropy on Brainiac, so that's why he's taking basically no dot damage, because the Entropy artifact, which is kind of a pay-to-win artifact, by the way, so it's not something that everybody can get. Just getting that out of the way, because people are going to ask questions, how do you get Entropy? Well, basically you kind of get crazy lucky to drop it or gamble it with real money. Though fun fact is, it was at some point in a chest, though that chest is no longer here. So that's why Brainiac is going to take no dot damage, and Grodd is going to take very low dot values compared to what you might see in our fights, because in fights like this where there are hazards on the ground, you're going to get more damage out of the hazards the higher heroic you're in. And that is because the hazard damage is going to be influenced by the boss's attack. Now, Grodd's passive is going to reduce the enemy's attack, so that will basically allow us to take less dot damage. It's not relevant for Grodd, because if he got damage, he would just heal from it. It helps out when I mess up and mess the combo up, because we're gonna have a little bit more health to go around and tank those hits. But yeah, you're going to reduce the dot value you take by reducing the enemy's attack, though I don't think there's anything that can reliably do this except for the Batman Ninja team, and they don't really need that anyway. Next up, we're going to have a little bit of an interesting fight here. So we have Batman on the ground, plus Arkham Knight Batman, plus John Stewart Green Lantern. By the way, for this team setup, you're gonna do less damage, but if you do have this team except for Arkham Knight Batman, you can do this without him. First up, I'm going to get the super move out of the way, and then I'll explain what we're doing. We're not going to be able to survive the dot damage here. We're simply not going to be able to... I mean, we're going to survive it, but we're not going to be able to constantly tank it and be fine. But we don't need to, because we have Arkham Knight Batman with the stun setup, and we have Batman on the ground. And while the enemy is going to be stunned, Batman on the ground can basically do... 2 full combos to the enemy before needing to tag in Arkham Knight Batman. I'm not doing that yet because I'm still fine in terms of health, but I'm gonna do it when I need to. We can basically lock him into an infinite combo by simply playing this team the same way you would play the Arbor Harley Quinn League of Anarchy team, only you're not doing damage in the same way, but the gameplay will actually be the exact same. But we're still fine here, but getting a little bit low on health, and I think that was the last of the Firebox regions. Backing off, and yeah, we actually didn't do that at all here, but don't worry, we're going to do it eventually in one fight. We're going to use that strategy in one fight, but if you're struggling with the dot values, you can put a Pratt or Batman in there if you don't have Arkham Knight Batman, and simply play this team as you would play the League of Anarchy team, with Batman on the ground and John Stewart Green Lantern and Arkham Knight Batman, or Pratt or Batman. Obviously, damage increase from Archer Knight Batman, but can be done with Predator Batman as well. Here we have boss Supergirl, and I had both Batman Who Laughs and Zatanna available, so I was like, I'll just throw them in there. They're gonna do some percentage shell damage. That sort of salvation on Batman Who Laughs and the firebox on Zatanna, but that Batman Who Laughs will not live long with that sort of salvation. He's basically getting annihilated. We're going to eventually try to help him out a bit. And after we're done with the Zatanna percentage health, we're going to have to do a very annoying setup for him that will basically guarantee he doesn't get hit while he's in that form. If I even remember to do that in the first place, or if I have time for it. But yeah, Dark Supergirl can be a very annoying fight. She doesn't do that much on paper, but in practice, she's gonna have a very annoying AI because she's a Supergirl character. She'll have weird combos, she'll spam that special one, and boy, when that special one is done, it's gonna be rough because the main problem is it's gonna waste so much of your time because of the long animation. But yeah, we're in final form here, and I messed up. Like, the basic idea behind it was to set him up to the point where he would have no point where he would take damage, just tag him into a combo, tag him out. But I was not cautious enough, and I couldn't really afford to be cautious enough because we were running out of time. But yeah, now in the next day's fights, I'm going to use the Kinflan Sakomentin and Deathstroke to chunk her down even more. The reason why I didn't use this first is because they were simply not available. The tips did not refresh. By the way, those fights happened like 2 days ago, and I was planning on doing 2 videos yesterday as well, and this most likely would have been one of them, but since yesterday I basically moved in here, I didn't have much time for more than 1 video yesterday. Most likely, I don't know today. We'll see about it. Maybe 1 video, maybe 2. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that Deathstroke clone didn't do well. And this is yet again another showcase why you should ideally make the enemy use this super move before you get the clones tagged in there. Because if you don't do so, they're not gonna have a great time. Tucker Fate in there. He's got the firebox, so he's gonna be the tankiest of them all by default. Base Deathstroke at this point used everything he could use. And yeah, we get the clone in there. And I messed up. I messed up badly over here. Like, that clone did only 1 blocked special too. Oh, rip! Moving on, we're going to do a bit of damage with King. You never know when you need it in the next fights, even though this is not gonna be much because of no passive stats, and Sword of Salvation is not that great of a damage dealing artifact. It's great for the power generation it provides, but when it comes to damage, it's not gonna be the best thing in the world. For last thing, this is where we're going to actually use the strategy I was talking about earlier with Lord Joker, and you can use this against Lord Joker, but works against Dark Supergirl. Basically, the point of this fight is to keep my Batman on the ground alive. And first up, we're going to get her super move out of the way. She gets hit here because that jump attack did not work there. I mean, it worked, but it was not fast enough to the point where we could start blocking her into an infinite jump attack combo. And she does do a tremendous amount of damage. Got on the ground back in there. Arkham Knight Batman, and there you go. This is literally the exact same gameplay as League of Anarchy. I tagged in too soon there to set up the stun. I'll get a better pace to it as the fight goes on. I'll perfect it. Get the Arkham Knight Batman back in there. He's got the Dark Malcard, so he also leaves the Dark Malcard's area beneath us. So that helps us out a bit with the guaranteed crits. We're going to do 2 full combos, and it seems like from 2 full combos, though this might depend a bit on the star rating, I'm not 100% sure on that, my Batman in the ground is going to be able to reach final form. And we didn't need to do it for that long, but yeah. Now we're going to fight boss Darkseid. We're going to have Harley here with the Firebox and Raven with the Sword of Sin. So the Sword of Sin will constantly power drain Darkseid, so we do not have to worry about him ever using Supermove again. Could have used Sword of Salvation, and that would have helped out a bit more with the power generation, but would have been a less secure, let's say, methods. And look, I have done this exact same fight without the Sword of Sin. I know Sword of Sin, it's all but... I mean, it's literally a pay-to-win artifact, but we have done this on the secondary account as well, so it's a few videos ago. Go search for that video if you find this unrelatable, where we did get a decent amount of damage without having the Sword of Sin, and no gears on Raven, which also depletes our power drain. But yeah, back to this fight, we're at 5 darkness stacks, and we're going to use this special too. Powerbacks at level 9 is gonna do well, level 10, excuse me, is gonna do well enough on Harley, though Much prefer to have a Dark Melkors and just have the passive stats from that. Hardly back in there. Like, Dawn of Apokolips makes you realize how much you are taking for granted the guaranteed crits before, because crits in Injustice to Mobile Wall, they definitely help out a ton, and they're the way to go for builds. Crits are not your friend. You're gonna have that 75% crit chance there, and the crit chance in the fight if you actually count them, and it's easy to count in fights where you have characters like Zero Banshee that deal big instances of damage, but only in one part. There you're gonna be able to clearly see that the crits is kind of lying to you. You're not gonna get that 75%, especially if the enemy's a bit crit resistant. A bit crit resistance can ruin your whole day. Yeah, I messed up with that special 2 on Harley and didn't want to stun Darkseid. Also, I messed up at some point with the darkness stacks because I just got carried out. Carried away, I think it's the proper expression, but we're gonna be fine here. Yeah, with a lot being said, thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, subscribe for more content like this. We're soon gonna get back to streaming, as I said. And I'll see you all in the next one, lads. I'm quite excited about this. Thank you so much for watching, thanks so much for being here and supporting the channel. And the rewards, as per usual, are gonna be garbage. But yeah, goodbye.